Alright guys, so I've been working on this thing throughout the day. Been doing some sandblasting, getting all the windshield tracks cleared out. Everything's actually looking pretty good in the back windshield. Turn around, this right here is the worst part, which is not bad at all for this back windshield since it lays so flat. These are the little eyelets for the clips for the trim. Most of them look good, but the good news is that you can buy those off of eBay as a rivet. So you just drill you a hole and rivet it in. It's easy as that. Alright guys, now we've moved to the front windshield. Done got it all cleared out. It looks pretty bad on the A-pillars. It's not beyond fixing, but got holes on the bottom and top. Across the top's pretty good. Get over here, got some holes here, and then this entire A-pillar going down is pretty rough. All the way over to there. There's a couple spots here and there, but other than that, it ain't too bad. I'll get you some shots of other items I've been sandblasting today. I did do the parking brake, but it's gone, and I think I'm going to go away from the floor parking brake and do something up in the console. So, like I said, there's nothing beyond doing on this car because it is going to be a one of a kind. I hope it is, at least. So, we're going to change stuff around. Alright, these right here are the tins that I sandblasted. This is the radiator cover right there to support, and this is the piece of metal that sits in between the dash and the heater box, AC box, and the passenger front. So that right there was pretty rusty, I guess, just from all the moisture in that area. But they've been sandblasted and sprayed, heated, baked with a coat of high temp paint. And then I also took apart one of the window sections, quarter windows, sandblasted it, greased and lubricated all the joints, cleaned the glass. There is one thing I've got to get for both of these, and that is the seal between this rubber seal right here. It gets stuck in this trim, and then it's got a screw that holds it in place. That trim right there is $100 for the set, and that's just the rubber. That's not including the chrome piece. So I'm gonna order those things probably closer to whenever completion is nearing. But that's cleaned up really well. Like I said, greased the spring, greased the housing here, all the tracks. Everything's looking good. When it comes to the dash, the instrument cluster, just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go back with, these are the inserts that actually were plastic welded to the inside here. I'm probably going to coat these black, epoxy them in place, because what happens is these are like standoffs, and they stand off to this. And so what I did, this right here was the clear plastic piece that the gauges used to sit behind. Well, the gauges I'm getting already have a clear plastic in front of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill the 4-inch holes in this, mount the gauges to that, which will sit in the box here, this plastic box. This plastic box then bolts up to the back of this, which these are already in place then. So it all sandwiches together. I'll have the gauges in there, and then the back of the gauges will be accessible when I cut the holes back here. They won't be quite as big as that, but this front plastic here will be the part that's actually holding the gauges, which will be absolutely fine. So just working on figuring that out. So I don't even really need this piece. So if anybody wants this piece, some javelin collectors, they like extra parts. You're more than welcome to it. There again, that's just one section of it. Then I've got to figure out what to do with this, because all these indicators here aren't going to get used anymore. I'm with that Holley Terminator, I'm going to try to figure out something different, because you really can't see, but you have your switches, which are these switches right here. That one, that's the washer, that's the wiper. The wiper is selectable, so you've got off, high, low, high. That's all you've got. Your washer is a momentary. It's just a push to turn on to get your washer fluid. Then on this side, you have your dome and your lights. So your panel. So first on is low. I think it's low power on the panel, like a low light, then a high light, and then all the way forward is dome. And then on your headlights, you have off. I want to say. That's your indicator. I want to say it's like your indicators, your driving lights, and then your headlights, and then your high beam is in the floor on a push button, which I love that old floor push button high beam. It's awesome. But anyways, behind all those little light bulbs, each one of these little spots is a different indicator light. You can see it with the light coming in through the back. So this one says brake, alternator, oil. That's probably oil pressure. And then that right there is your right turn indicator, which my right and left turn indicators are built into the new speedo gauge, so I don't even need it. And then on this side, you've got left turn indicator, fasten seat belts, and high beam. So and then again, my high beam is built into, it's an indicator light built into my speedo, so I don't even need those. So there again, that might be a thing where I cut those off and use some of my black plastic Kydex and plastic weld those together just to get rid of them, and just get rid of all these indicator lights to begin with, because I really won't need them as much. I can just do a little indicator light, like a little blinking red light or something, to indicate high oil temp or whatever, but I'm going to have all those gauges looking straight at me in the face anyway. This did not have any of that. All it had was temp and battery. That's the only two gauges you had besides your speedo on this car. That's the reason why you had all those indicators. I'm going to have my oil pressure, my oil temp, water temp, and alternator and everything, so won't even need that. So just this right here is sort of like the fabrication part that I do enjoy. Like I said, there again, this is the box where all the AC unit and stuff is, the weather eye. So the AC unit on that 304, the compressor is actually locked up, which, okay, that's fine with me. I'm not going to use it anyway. But you see, every bit of the blend doors and everything was cable driven. Everything cable driven to the AC heater box. With that new Vintage Air or whatever system I get, it's all wire. So this right here is going to be like all gone. Every bit of this right here. Cigarette port. I'll probably just put another one there just for 12 volt power. And then down here, the cigarette box, I don't know what I'm going to do there. Who knows? It could be another small round gauge of some sort in the future. Who knows? Maybe boost. Really don't mind. Don't care. Could be a spot for push button start. Turn the key on and then push button. We'll see. The door here, this thing right here is trashed. It is, the latching mechanism is broke. The door, I never really liked these doors, and there really was nothing in here anyway except a cardboard box that is like a glove compartment. This was your glove compartment, and it's set to the left of the passenger's left foot. Once I get all this plastic fixed, what I might end up doing is taking this door off, Kydexing this solid to where it's one piece, and maybe put a lower speaker right here, because I'll have all this extra room because all this here will be gone. Because this car only had 3 speakers in it. There's one that sits in between the driver, so this would be where the instrument cluster is. There's one that sits right there, and then there's 2 in the back window. That's it. There's none in the door, none anywhere else. So I might have that one, the 2 in the back window, and then one right here in the floor area on the passenger side, just to have a little bit more sound. I don't know how this car is going to sound. I'm going to try to deaden the inside of it as much as I can. Insulation. That's what I learned from the first one I did, was you need a lot of insulation in these cars because they're unibody. There's not much in between you and that exhaust and the engine and stuff, so they get pretty loud inside. So that's coming up. But anyways, I'm gonna end it off here. I got a few more things I'm gonna do, and then I got some family time tonight with the kids. But y'all have a good one. Like, share, subscribe. Good to see y'all.